Nam. Happy Saturday. Hello, guys. Good to see you on. Let me straighten a few things out here. I hope everyone had a really great Thanksgiving. I did. I was out in Big Bear with Honey and a friend of mine. And it's so interesting, you just go 2 hours out of LA and it's a completely different climate, and not to mention the cold, the dryness. I'm literally at ocean level, and going up in altitude, how dry it becomes, and it's just so different. It's nice to experience those large changes in the climate of California when you go into different locations. I really love that. Having been, from the East Coast originally, there's really only one climate. It's obviously you have your seasons, but you pretty much know what to expect from each season, no matter where you are on the East Coast. When you come to California, it's a completely different story. So I love that. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Thanks for signing on. Today is Saturday, and as we do on Saturdays, we have our YouTube Kundalini class. Hi, Dan. Here for the Dharma talk. He's in his car. Okay, well, cool. Good. I'm glad you're tuning in from your car. I appreciate it. The Dharma talk today is on dedicated spiritual practice, sadhana. Hi, Felicia. And Dan, Felicia says hello to you as well. Good to see you guys. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about a dedicated spiritual practice, a sadhana. And I figured this was a really wonderful topic to bring up because we are open registration. We have open registration now for my next 40-day meditation journey. And this next 40-day meditation journey, I'll get into describing in a moment. I just want to get through a couple, administrative details. Andrew Smith. Hello, Andrew Smith. Good to have you on. A couple administrative details. Yogi Tunes. I run all my music through this program called Yogi Tunes and make sure to make use of copyrighted music in a proper way. So if you're ever interested in trying to make use of yoga music online, you can do so through Yogi Tunes. Another thing, if you'd like to get on my mailing list and learn about all the things I have upcoming, whether it's my class schedule, whether it's next upcoming special classes like we had for our just recent Thanksgiving class, or next 40-day meditation journey, or when the world opens back up, our next retreat that we'll be doing. You can learn all of that by getting on my mailing list. If you go to Looney.com and go to the contact section or the about section, or even on the homepage, I believe you can find ways to get on the mailing list and connect with me. You can also just email me at caralooneyyoga@gmail.com. As I mentioned, we do this class every Saturday on YouTube. It's really fun to connect with you guys in this way. I love kind of opening myself out into the ether through YouTube and help people discover and explore the technology of Kundalini Yoga. If you like this and you'd like to practice with me more often, you can also go onto my website and go to my Yoga Club classes section. I have different membership options, all very affordable membership options, and drop-in class options, all live classes, 4 times a week in styles of both Kundalini and Vinyasa Flow. So I offer 2 Kundalini classes a week, 2 Vinyasa Flow classes a week. And I've been talking to some of my students. I also teach Sculpt and Flow, and we're thinking maybe around the first of the year, we'll offer some Sculpt Bar class offering. So stay tuned for that. If you're on my mailing list, you'll be the first to know. So go to Yoga Club on my webpage, Yoga Club classes on caralooney.com. You can find out about membership and drop-in classes. I'd love to have you practice with me. And for those of you who do register for Yoga Club classes, you also get access. You can also get access to the video recordings if you can't attend the classes live. So that's great too. As I was saying earlier, my next 40-day meditation journey is open for registration. This time, this is our 5th journey since March. We've been doing 40-day journeys consistently since March, developing a really closely connected group of yogis on these journeys. It's really wonderful to connect in community in this way because we don't have access necessarily to go to yoga studios or join and connect with each other in various gatherings that we would otherwise do. This is a wonderful way to connect in Sangha, spiritual community. This 40-day meditation journey will be focusing on my favorite mantra of all times, the Vayanti mantra. This is a mantra that was written, over 2,000 years ago by Patanjali, the father of modern yoga. And by modern yoga, I mean the past, 2,000 to 3,000 years. And he was the author of the Yoga Sutras. He organized the 8 limbs of yoga. So there's a lot of history and a lot of sacredness behind this mantra, the Vayanti mantra. And this mantra is said to help us connect most deeply with our intuitive capabilities. So if your intuition is a little bit elusive to you, or you speak about wanting to develop a deeper relationship with intuition, or it's a capacity that seems somewhat beyond your grasp, I don't know if grasp is the great word for that, being that this is yoga. Access maybe is a better word than grasp. This would be a great 40-day meditation for you. Anyone who wants to connect more deeply into your intuition, even if you really do have a great relationship with your intuition, you connect to intuitive hits. That's the easy part of developing a relationship with our intuition. The most challenging part is actually following through with intuitive hits, going against all the logic and reason that talks you out of connecting into your intuition. This is for you as well. If you understand and connect to your intuitive hits, but it's just something that you don't necessarily follow through on because there's a lot of fear that comes up for you for following your intuition. This would be a great 40-day journey for you too, because we have the connection to group support where you can say, listen, these intuitive hits have come up to me or come up for me, but it's challenging so many things that I already have in place in my life. This is a place where you can really suss some of those things out. So I digress. If you would like to learn more about this and register, you can go to my webpage, carollooney.com, and go to the course registration section. There's a little video there detailing more about it and your ability to register, okay? That journey starts on December 9th, and it runs all the way through January 1st. Basically, we would meditate daily independently on that mantra. We connect twice a week in virtual community, practice Kundalini yoga together, we meditate together, we share in community. We also have a book that we discuss on Sundays on our Sunday meetings. So it's all very fun, very, very spiritually uplifting, and very transformative for many people who've been on these journeys. A lot of these journeys people have been following through time after time. So there's a lot to be cultivated through these 40-day journeys, and I hope you consider joining us. The last thing I want to say is if you feel that today's class or any of these classes bring you benefit, love for any energy exchanges. If you'd like to donate to today's class, you can go to PayPal, find me under carollooneyyoga@gmail.com, or Zelle or Square Cash, okay? And donations are not required, but they are always appreciated as an energy exchange. Okay, so thank you for all your texts into the chat box. I appreciate knowing that I'm not floating alone here in the ethers. It's good to see a good handful of you guys on, and I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. All right, let's get started. Let me make sure my speaker is on. And if you guys were in the Thanksgiving class that we had while I was up in Big Bear, it was such a wonderful class, so powerful. Lots of chanting, and the acoustics in the cabin that I was in just happened to be spectacular. So the sound was really, really wonderful. If you're interested in receiving a recording of that class, feel free to reach out to me at carollooneyyoga@gmail.com. All right, guys, let's get kind of loose and relaxed. Find a place to sit that keeps your spine in a nice straight alignment and the hips grounded, shoulders down away from the ears. I hope you like my new little Ram Dass tank top. I love Ram Dass. I love this man so much, and I saw this tank top. I was like, I gotta get it. Of course, I carved it up to fit my preferences, but I love Ram Dass so much. Okay, let's take a few deep breaths. Close the eyes, draw them up to third eye center, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Now, a couple things to note for today's practice. We're going to be doing a lot of pranayama through the nose. So if you're a little stuffy or boogery, just clear your nose or have a tissue nearby. We'll also be doing some breath of fire today. So if I have any pregnant ladies tuning in today, or any ladies who are on the first 3 days of their moon cycle, of their period, please make sure instead of doing breath of fire to do long, deep breathing instead. This will help keep your aponic energy in the balance that it needs to be for your current state. Let's take one more full deep breath. And exhale. All right. Blink your eyes open. Let's bring our hands together and rub them vigorously. Generate some heat. We also stimulate, when we do this, we stimulate 72,000 energy channels. We call these nadis. These energy channels begin in the navel center and they end in the hands and the feet. And when we rub either the hands together, the soles of the feet together, or both, we really start to activate and stimulate these energy channels. And then let's bring the hands together at the heart center in prayer position. This, with the thumbs into the sternum, help us connect into heart-centered energy. And the palms pressed together help us balance the right and left hemispheres of the brain. We tune in with our sacred invocational mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. It's called the Adi Mantra. It translates to, I bow to the divine teacher within, calling on the high self, the self that lives beyond the personality, lives beyond the ego, the self that lives beyond fear, that part of ourselves that is eternal, the soul. And then we tune in with the Mangalacharan mantra, a mantra of protection, a mantra of surrender. This is also our mantra of the week, so we will be chanting this mantra in a different melody at the end of class today. All right, let's tune in 3 times through with the Adi Mantra. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Engage root lock, draw the eyes up to third eye center, and let's begin. Om Namo Gurudev Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Arengre Name Jugarengre Name Saintengre Name Sri Gurudev Name. Arengre Name Jugarengre Name Saintengre Name Sri Gurudev Name. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And suspend it. Root lock, third eye, big belly, and the breath suspend. Feel your pulse. And exhale, release. I love doing breath retention, whether it's on the inhale or on the exhale. You can really feel the course of life force energy moving through you and breath retention. And we'll also be doing some breath retention today too, so that'll be fun. And they say that breath retention, I mentioned this before, helps us connect to that within us that is undying. When we put ourselves in that position of holding the breath, whether it's on the full inhale or whether it's on the complete empty, it helps us connect into that eternality within ourselves, that energetic awareness, soul awareness, subtler awarenesses. And it's those subtler awarenesses that help us rise above challenge. It's those subtle awareness that help us rise above what may feel like suffering at a particular time. When we connect to that eternality within ourselves, we tend to see what would otherwise be considered misfortune or suffering as just another experience, when we can rise into those higher dimensions of our existence. Today's class, my Dharma talk is going to be about sadhana. Sadhana is another word for a dedicated spiritual practice. A disciplined practice that we carry out on a regular, long-term basis. You can turn doing the dishes into a sadhana, for Christ's sake, or, your bathing routine can be a sadhana. It's when you connect into spirit, when you connect into that high element within yourself, and you also make it a disciplined, continued practice. And it also reframes a lot of mindsets around discipline. I'll explain that in a moment. As I mentioned, sadhana is a daily dedicated discipline of, say, meditation, a yoga, or any type of spiritual practice. And even, like I said, doing dishes can be the spiritual practice if you are in high potency of present awareness. There are two types of sadhana we talk about in Kundalini yoga. There's Aquarian sadhana, which is a very specific 2.5-hour practice done before dawn to strengthen the relationship with the infinite self. We do a prayer in the beginning called Japji. We do 7 sacred mantras, and then we practice Kriya. And all of this takes about 2.5 hours. And by the time you're finished, the sun has risen. And usually you are flying pretty high in spiritual connection. And then there's also what we call a personal sadhana. This is a dedicated spiritual practice that you take on for yourself. It can be a meditation, it can be a mantra, like our 40-day mantras. These are considered our sadhanas. It can be a kriya that you dedicate yourself to, or even prayer, or doing service for others in some way. All of these things can be considered a sadhana, something you do on a regular basis for a specified period of time for an intention, whether it's to connect more deeply to others, whether it's to step out of your egoic, compulsions, sometimes more specific, like our past 40-day meditations that we have done. The first was focused on fear, on releasing fear, subconscious fear. Our second 40-day sadhana or meditation journey was focused on removing obstacles, whether those are obstacles in the mind or literal obstacles that we are trying to overcome in our lives. The third was focused on healing, connecting to physical healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing. And our fourth, the meditation journey that we are closing out this upcoming Sunday in our closing ceremony, was focused and is focused on connecting most deeply to our creative source and then manifesting as we connect to our creative energy. Our next 40 days is coming up right now, which is focused on connecting to intuition. Now they say 40 days of any meditation or sadhana practice changes a pattern, right? So maybe your pattern is you focus too much on the logical and the rational mind, and you want to connect more deeply into intuition. 40 days is a wonderful time frame through which to change that pattern of relying too heavily on the logical and the rational mind and developing a new pattern of connecting more deeply to intuitive hits. 90 days confirms that pattern. 120 days, the pattern solidifies in you as a part of who you are. In 1,000 days, they say you have mastered that new pattern within your being. Now, personal sadhana develops life-promoting habits and benefits. Okay? It teaches us beneficial application and outcome of self-discipline. It creates a distinction between discipline for the sake of control, which many of us are familiar with, right? Whether it was being disciplined as children to keep you under control, whether it's discipline within a religious practice, whether it's discipline within school or even work, right? There's a lot of control mechanized elements of discipline that are in our lives. And so we lose sight of the true benefit of discipline. So we create a distinction in spiritual discipline and sadhana between discipline for the sake of control and discipline for the sake of direction in one's life. Oftentimes we associate discipline with control to stop or extinguish bad behavior. All right, and an example of this would be starving oneself to lose weight. That is discipline through control. Another would be exercising excessively to lose weight or get in shape. This is discipline for the sake of control. Now, these types of disciplines are a mechanism of control which is used in a vibration that lacks balance and self-love, and ultimately will fail as it is unsustainable. Throughout the course of my life before I found yoga, there were so many mechanisms of discipline that were not life-affirming in my life in order to regain control, because I maybe fell out of, balance in some way. And so I would move to the other end of the spectrum by way of self-control to regain it. But then I would just go into the other end of the spectrum. When we take discipline into a yogic concept, that is merging, that is creating balance and harmony. Discipline for the sake of direction is rooted in self-love, is rooted in balance. Direction is co-creative with the universe, whereas control omits universal intelligence in exchange for egoic compulsion. Oftentimes, old stories about discipline can set us on a self-defeating course. The word can stir up resistance and negative emotions. For example, past negative experiences with authority figures or acts of discipline that were harmful to you, that were imposed on you, can bring up negative subconscious associations. Discipline that was maybe unfair or unjust or unnecessary, imbalanced, abusive, disempowering, or demoralizing, right? That can create a whole improper relationship or unbalanced relationship with not only the word reaction to the word of discipline, but how one implements it in their lives. Can create a negative mindset or imbalanced perspective towards self-discipline. This negative subconscious association with discipline, and thus self-discipline, can cause our attempts to implement self-discipline to manifest in very self-defeating and unloving and unsustainable ways. In a personal sadhana with yoga, we are working to reestablish self-loving, sustainable, life-affirming self-discipline. It starts with the mind. The mind is where all the long-held beliefs, judgments, and opinions and patterns live. They all live in the mind. Through consistency, we rein in the mind's tendencies and shed light on disserving patterns that are within us, taking us out of past ruminations and future projections, and bringing us into the real moment, the present moment. Now, with our 40-day journeys, mantra is what we use as our method of meditative self-discipline. We chant a particular mantra. This coming 40 days, our Vayanti mantra. Mantra is one of the most powerful tools to start with changing mind patterns. The word mantra means mind liberation. As we chant mantra, we're not just making sounds and chanting, affirmations in different languages. These words actually have a vibrational frequency that carries over into the body. And also the repetition of the words uses the tongue to hit 84 meridian points on the roof of the mouth that connect to glands in the brain. So we're repetitively stimulating meridian points that activate glands in the brain that create different chemical reactions in the body. Our chemical reactions in the body that we're accustomed to are fight or flight, right? Adrenaline, cortisol, anything that stimulates and activates. And we actually can become quite addicted to that. When we chant mantra, we activate different glands that do the opposite. It creates balance, harmony, sustainability, releasing dopamine and all sorts of different wonderful chemicals in the body that bring us into connection, that bring us into expansion, and take us out of fear-based mindsets. Mantra creates a state of neutrality in the mind, through which we can experience our authentic present selves, beyond the habituation of past rumination and future projection. To chant once in a while is helpful, totally. It's helpful to modify your experience. It's helpful to create a different chemical experience in the body. It's helpful to be very relaxed and present. If you have a bad day or you're having a panic attack, sometimes listening to a mantra or chanting a mantra can really help. To chant mantra as a sadhana is a regular, disciplined, dedicated spiritual practice on a daily basis. It creates physical, emotional, energetic, and spiritual transformation. It's literally an upgrade at the level of our whole being. It creates an evolutionary transformation within our being, not just the physical or mental, but also energetic and spiritual. The continual practice helps direct creative energy in a very life-affirming, sustainable way and creates neural pathways to maintain that positivity and that life-affirming experience within our being. Now, whether it's mantra, whether it's yoga, meditation, artful expression like dance or painting or singing or creating music, 12-step meetings, prayer, volunteer work, all of these things are very life-affirming, and they can be beneficial in creating healthy, sustainable discipline within your life. Okay, so today's Kriya set, we're going to be kind of pulling from a full grab bag of all that's beneficial in Kundalini Yoga. We're going to be doing meditation, we're going to be doing mantra, we're going to be doing physical Kriya, and we're going to be doing a lot of powerful breath work. So you guys are going to feel great coming out of this today. All right, so let's start with our warm-up. Little Sufi circles, grabbing onto the shins or the ankles. We're going to start rolling in a clockwise direction. Eyes are drawn up to third eye center. And if you're newer to Kundalini Yoga, we tend to practice with the eyes closed in order to really turn inward, removing the sense of sight, withdrawing the sense of sight rather, helps us connect to our internal universe. I am divine. The mantra, feel free to chant out loud or mentally, I am divine. I am divine. I am divine. I am divine. Rounding our lowest energy center. I am divine. Massaging the internal organs. I am divine. Inhaling forward. Exhale as you round back. I am divine. 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 Four more in this direction. And inhale, forward. Reverse the direction. Inhaling, exhaling. I am divine. 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 One more in this direction. I am divine. And inhale, hold center, flexing the spine forward, rounding, tucking the tail. Inhale, exhale. Moving prana through the body, opening up the central channel of the spine. way up into the heart center, realigning the vertebrae, bringing out low body organs, purifying from within. Inhaling and oftentimes people find the idea of imposing discipline to restrict their freedom. The yogic spiritual texts, and through my experience, I find discipline to be a gateway to freedom. Right? When I create discipline, I understand my values, my truth, more specifically. And so I very rarely vacillate. I constantly know what the right direction is. I say constantly and I laugh. I tend to know what the right direction is. This gives me a lot of freedom. And a lot of this is created through having discipline in my life. You come to know yourself more deeply through discipline. Especially when it's a life-affirming discipline, sustainable discipline. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Exhale, hinge and bow forward. Let's come on to tabletop. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And let's begin cat-cow. Inhale, chin and tail. Exhale, round, tuck, and dome. Eyes are drawn up. In this mantra, I am. I am. I am what I am. Connecting to self-love, self-acceptance. I am what I am. 4, 3, I am 2, what I am. And 1. Inhale, chin and tail. I am. Exhale, round, tuck, and dome. What I am. Let's join the knees together. Sit back into baby pose for a moment. Forehead to the ground. Hands come down. Let the shoulders roll forward. Create opening in the upper back between the shoulder blades. What I am, and that's alright. That's alright. That's alright. Please rise up, seated. That's alright. Hands are on the thighs. Let's do a little chanting before we get started today. I am what I am. Resting the other side of the buttocks on the heels, hands on the thighs. I am what I am. 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 what I am, and that's alright. That's alright. That's alright. That's I am what I am. I am what I am. I am what I am. I am what I am, and that's alright. That's alright. And that's alright. That's alright. Take a deep breath in through the nose. To be. Suspend it. And exhale, release. All right, let's interlace the hands. Venus lock, okay? Now we're gonna do some movements with breath retention. So my arms are gonna be right out in front of my chest. This is going to be an exercise that works on the metabolism by stimulating thyroid and parathyroid glands. This also assists in facilitating digestion, which can be helpful post-Thanksgiving. All right, so the first few minutes, we're gonna take a deep breath, suspend it, pump for 3 times. 1, 2, 3, exhale. Do it again, inhale, pump, 2, 3, exhale. And then after a few moments, we're gonna and then hold the breath and do it for 10 pumps. Okay, so just getting started with 3 eyes at the third eye center. Here we go. Keep those eyes at third eye center. Last time in the 3. All right, let's make it to 10. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale, mentally count. Full inhale. Keep going. Waheguru, Waheguru, Waheguru. breath. Lock third eye. Hands come down around and relax. Regulate your breath, please. Make use of this time of stillness. This helps allow the energy to move. When you're ready, gently blink the eyes open and come laying down onto your back. This next exercise helps set our navel point energy, right? This is where all our willpower lives. This is where all our ability to promote action, create action in our lives, right? Act out of gut intuition, gut instinct. Okay, so, and this also, again, aids in digestion. So this was a well thought out Kriya today for post-Thanksgiving. Please come laying down onto your backs. Interlace the hands behind your head. And I'm just going to lift this left leg up. Make sure my tail is turned down so my low back is supported by the floor. Long, deep breathing. Now I want you to really extend through this leg. So it could be like this, like with a lackluster engagement to my leg. Or I could point through the toe, lengthen and straighten through the leg, engage into my thigh. Okay? That's what I'd like you to do. You want to feel the engagement in your thigh, in the hip flexor, and in the navel center. Long, deep breathing. It should only be about, I'm a little high in the leg, it should be a little about 6 inches off the ground or so. Inhale nose. Exhale nose. Long deep breathing can be one of the more challenging pranayamas because the thoughts really jump in to distract you from the long deep breathing. Try and stay focused on your breath and an engagement in the leg and the navel. Take a last deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, release. Let's do the other leg. Just about 6 or so inches off the ground. Again, no kind of lackluster leg. I want you to extend very long and very strong. Pointed toe, engage thigh, hip flexor, navel. Low back turns down toward the floor. Long deep breathing. All of the work in these kriyas are purposely set up in alignment to create an energetic and glandular shift in the body. It's like a prescription. No mistakes, nothing haphazard. Everything is done for purpose and benefit. If it doesn't feel challenging, that's okay. It doesn't mean that it's not benefiting you. And this is where discipline of the mind may need to be more powerful if the discipline of the body is not necessary. Discipline of the body is necessary, then the mind needs to follow suit. Let's take 30 more seconds here. Feeling the engagement of the thigh and the navel. Please take your last full deep breath in with the nose. And as you exhale, bring both knees into the chest. Hands come under the hinges of the knees and rock yourself up. Seated cross-legged position. We're going to begin a short series of pranayama. This is going to open up the lungs and direct the nervous system to coordinate the right and left hemispheres of the brain, and also activates pituitary and pineal glands. Before I do this, I'd like to coach those of you who may not be familiar with breath of fire. As I mentioned, if you're pregnant or on the first 3 days of your period, please, instead of doing breath of fire, please do long, deep breathing. Breath of fire is a rhythmic breath that moves the diaphragm. We're usually doing it through the nose, but sometimes it's done from the mouth. I'll start with doing it from the mouth because it's the easiest way to coach it. Kind of like panting like a dog. And then to do it through the nose, you just close the mouth and instead transfer the breath to the nose. It's even, it's rhythmic, and it's sustainable. Excuse me. So if you're fairly new to it, it may require that you do it somewhat more slowly. Those who've been doing it for a while can really control the navel muscles, the belly muscles. Okay, so the first part of this pranayama series involves us closing off the right nostril with the index finger, long deep breathing through the left nostril. Eyes are drawn up to the third eye center. Left hand is in Gyan Mudra. Make sure those eyes are drawn up to third eye center. Put a neutral expression on the face. Making your breaths even on the inhale, even on the exhale. That'll be very soothing and long. Chronic activation of our minds and our nervous systems, sometimes slowing down like this, can be very challenging. Try to override any frenetic energy. Be patient. Take your time.
Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare.
Let's take 3 more breaths on the side, the left side.
Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare.
Last time, deep inhale through the left nostril.
Govinda, Govinda, Hare.
Suspend it. And release the right hand, release the breath. And switch. Left hand closes off left nostril. Long deep breath. Our left nostril also contains an energy channel that runs all the way down to the base of the spine. It's our feminine energy channel associated with receptivity, creativity, and intuition. The right nostril also contains an energy channel down to the base of the spine. Next, it's our masculine energy channel. Next to our sun energy, very logical, very projective. associated with the sun. Very action-oriented and even destructive. They are polarities, feminine, masculine, sun and moon. We are balancing out our polarities in this pranayama.
Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare.
Balancing out the extremes, bringing it into sustainability and harmony, energetically speaking. Let's do 3 more breaths.
Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare.
And release. Right hand comes back up to the face. And we're going to make a U with our fingers. I'm going to take my right thumb on my right nostril and my right index finger on my left nostril. And I'm going to slowly inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Eyes are drawn up to third eye center. Continue. Let that belly open up as you inhale and contract as you exhale. Let's go for 4 more like this, and then we're going to switch it up. Stay focused, guys. I know distractions are all over the place when you take online yoga. Try and stay with me. Last time. Now let's switch. Inhale left, exhale right. Let's take 3 more. Open the eyes. The last thing we're going to do involves that breath of fire. We're going to do that same alternating nostril breath, but at a faster pace, kind of at that breath of fire pace. You're going to inhale right, exhale left, like this. Let that belly move.
Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare.
Inhale. Release the hand. And let's switch last time. Inhale left, exhale right, breath of fire. Here we go.
Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda, Hare Hare.
Inhale. Suspend, root lock third eye. Relax the shoulders, keep the breath held. And exhale. Just breathe normally for a moment and meditate here. Have a deep awareness at that third eye center. That pranayama exercise helps open up the pituitary energy. It's the third eye awareness. It's a very opening exercise for your intuition. Open up your eyes. Just a few exercises left. Okay, come laying down on your back, please. We're going to do a little stretch pose. Now, if you have a tender low back, hands can slide under the pelvis. Legs extend out at 6 inches or so up off the ground. If you don't have a low back challenge, hands reach out in front of you. Eyes are open. Breath of fire, rhythmic pumping of the belly. In and out through the nose. Here we go. All the muscles are engaged. All the focus is on the toes. Navel's strong, legs are strong. Stay with me, it gets challenging. Stay in it. 10 seconds. Inhale. Suspend, hold. Exhale, knees to the chest. Let the head relax for a moment. We're going to tuck the nose up to the knees. Squeeze into a tight little ball. Breath of fire. Inhale. Suspend, root lock third eye. Exhale. Release for a moment, hands come under the hinges of the knees. Gently rock yourself up seated. Legs extend out in front of you. Flex through the toes. You're going to inhale, reach my arms up. Exhale, hinge and bow forward. Lengthen through the spine. Long, deep breathing. Eyes are at the third eye center. We're aligning our body in particular angles and doing specified breath exercises in order to move energy, clear blocks, change our vibrational frequency, chemical makeup of the blood, stimulating certain hormones, stimulating glands. Last time, inhale. Suspend the breath. Exhale, release, come right back. We're going to do our last bout of stretch pose. Reaching everything, engaging everything, breath of fire. Here we go. Stay strong, stay engaged, stay focused, stay disciplined. 10 seconds. Inhale. Suspend the breath, engage. And exhale, release, relax. And let everything soften and relax, please. Feet and thighs turn out naturally. Palms face up next to the hips. Shoulders down away from the ears. Chin of the chest. Let the tongue relax in the mouth. Ears fall back. Eyes sink back. Feeling fully and completely supported by the ground beneath you. Please remain laying down as I rise up. This is considered the most important pose in every yoga practice that I'm aware of, which is Savasana, corpse pose, where we allow our complete body to relax, surrender, rest. Ooh, sorry, honey. So allow every muscle, every joint to relax. Have a gentle awareness at the crown of your head. And feeling supported not only by the ground beneath you, but by the creative universe herself, himself. Composed of both masculine and feminine energy, giving you all the experiences, all the challenges to help you carry out your soul's purpose. Gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. And rock from side to side. Please roll onto one side into fetal position. What you doing, bub? While you're down there, please take a deep breath in through the nose. And sigh it out through the mouth. And use your top hand to please press yourself up seated, cross-legged position. So we have our mantra of the week, and I love this mantra. This is one of the mantras we chant as we tune into class. It's the Mangala Charan mantra. It's a mantra of protection. It's also a mantra that helps us remember how to surrender to the flow of the universe, right? There's that generate, organize, and destroy law of the universe. Everything is subject to that law. Things come into being, things exist, things transform. Energy is not born, energy does not die. Energy just moves and changes form all the time. So even if we die out of our physical form, the energy that inhabits the body, which we know as the soul, just transforms into something else. And when you come to experience the energy of your soul, create a relationship and an intimacy with that, you create a new affiliation with your being that is not wholly identified with the physical body. If you're wholly identified with the physical body, death is very scary because you cease to exist if you identify only with the body. When you start to understand yourself as energy, when you start to understand yourself as soul and subtlety and experience that element of yourself, then there's a part of yourself that you can acknowledge to be aware that can exist beyond the boundaries of the body. And then that makes death not so scary. At least that's been the case for me. And this mantra helps us connect to that surrendering of the trust of the law of that transformation of energy, and surrender to a power that's beyond our ego and power that's beyond the body identification. The translation of Ad Gure Name is I bow to the primal wisdom. Jugad Gure Name, I bow to the wisdom throughout the ages. Sat Gure Name, I bow to the true wisdom. Siddhi Gurudev Name, I bow to the great unseen wisdom. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Let's chant this mantra for a couple minutes together. Eyes will be drawn up to third eye center. Hands in Gyan Mudra, also feel free if you'd like to put your hands at the chest center. Let's see, let me find it. Okay, Sanatana Kar's version, Adgure. Just listen to the first round. Shoulders down away, eyes at third eye center.
Sadhguru Name, Shri Gurudev Name.
Here we go.
Adhure Name, Jugadhure Name, Sadhguru Name, Shri Gurudev Name. Adhure Name, Jugadhure Name, Sadhguru Name, Shri Gurudev Name. Adhure Name, Jugadhure Name, Sadhguru Name, Shri Gurudev Name. Adhure Name, Jugadhure Name, Sadhguru Name, Shri Gurudev Shri Gurudev Name. Adhure Name, Jugadhure Name, Sadhguru Name, Shri Gurudev Name.
Take a deep breath in through the nose. Suspend the breath. Root lock, third eye. And exhale, release. Surrendering to a power higher than myself, higher than my mind, higher than my ego, my personality, my fears, my accomplishments. Surrendering to the power of the universe, the power that created me and brought me here, has changed my life. And it's through the practice of yoga, through the practice of meditation, through the continued practice, through the pleasure of a spiritual discipline, that we come to experience those subtleties of our being that connect us most highly to that power beyond what we would consider to be the lower self, right? The earthly bound self, the personality, the body, the ego, the mind. When we embark on a spiritual journey, a sadhana, a regular, dedicated practice, we get an introduction, we create a familiarity, an intimacy, and a relationship with the divine aspects of who we are. And as we come to know those divine aspects, rely on those divine aspects, recommit to those divine aspects, we come to know ourselves much differently. Let's bring the hands to the heart center, thumbs into the sternum. We close out a cappella, one round of the long-time sun. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. And then we close out class with 3 long vibrational expressions of the mantra Sat Nam, declaring truth is our identity. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose to begin. Either listen as a blessing or join along. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Suspend it. And bring folded hands to third eye center, blessing that you'll be guided by intuition and have the wisdom and courage to follow it. Exhale, bowing forward. Satnam. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me today. Good to have so many of you on this afternoon. I realized as I was away in Big Bear, I must be allergic to something here in LA, maybe in my apartment, because I hardly sneezed while I was gone. And the whole time here today, I'm trying to fight off sneezes. So a couple admin details. Hey, Brendan McCabe, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. And she's also extending that to all you Kundalini classmates. Couple closing details. And please, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. I will be here for a few minutes to answer any questions and respond to any comments. All the music today, Yogi Tunes. If you want to get on my mailing list, you can email me at caroluniyoga@gmail.com or go to my website under the contact page. We're here every Saturday for YouTube. If you want to practice with me more consistently, you can join me in Yoga Club and all the other yogis in our fun community. We do our classes through Zoom, so you can actually see the fellows that you'll be practicing with, and we share in community at the end of class. It's always really nice. We have membership options, whether you like just flow classes, just Kundalini classes, or a combination of the two. We also have drop-in classes. So you could go to caroluni.com, go to the Yoga Club classes section to learn more about that. And our 40-day meditation focused on connecting to intuition. Registration is open. You can go to caroluni.com and go to the course registration section. We have an early bird special Between now and December 2nd, it's $55 to register. That's 2 times a week we meet in community. We have a Facebook group page. We have playlists for the mantras. It's really fun. Please let me know if you have any questions. And after December 2nd, the rate goes up to $60 up until the day of closing before we begin on December 9th. So please let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'd love to have you on this journey. Jeff Shalen, you're welcome. Good to see you. And if you would like to donate today to today's class, if you love joining me on Saturdays, or you got something out of the class today that really benefited you, donations are always appreciated. You can find me on PayPal under caroluniyoga@gmail.com. You can also find me on Square Cash and Zelly. I love connecting with you guys on our Saturday YouTubes. You can also find me on Facebook, Kara Looney Yoga, and on Instagram under the handle Kundalini, Kundalloony. All right, my friends, hope to see you tomorrow for Yoga Club Flow, 8:45 in the morning. Oh, and I almost forgot. Monday, we have a full moon eclipse. So if you're a Yoga Club member, we have a special Monday Kundalini Yoga class focused on that full moon energy. You can also drop into Monday's class if you're not a Yoga Club member or you're not subscribed to take that particular class. Yoga Club drop-in rate is $7 for members, $15 for non-members. Okay, so we'll see you Sunday and hopefully Monday for the full moon class at 2 p.m. Pacific. See you later. Bye, guys. Thanks again.